It is Sunday, and we're in New Orleans on our final day of Heart Rhythm 2023, and your wrap-up starts now. This is Heart Rhythm TV. I'm Roderick Tung, joined by Janet Han and Mahek Dande. We are wrapping up our final day.
Yeah.
We're really happy, a lot of smiles. People are trickling over to their airports and getting their respective cities and their countries, and it's been an amazing global presence and a lot more camaraderie as a society. We had one more day of late-breaking science.
Yep, we had exciting late-breaking clinical trials this morning, the registry data from CIEDs, and Dr. Neeraj Varma from Cleveland Clinic presented Implicity data.
London now. Right,
he presented data.
Data.
French registry data, looking at Implicity, the remote monitoring platform, a universal remote monitoring platform, to see if we can really clean up all the device data coming in for ICDs and CRTDs. And their adjusted analysis did show a heart failure hospitalization and mortality benefit. So, the question is that could we really use these third-party platforms to find the signal through the noise, if you will?
Yeah, that's amazing. And in that same session, we saw YCRT presented by Jag Singh showing meeting performance goals. And really importantly, conduction system pacing, which was all the rage last year. Big late breaker with simultaneous pub in JACC with Pugal Vijayaraman. Looking at now 2,000 patients, non-randomized, but left bundle area, almost 1,000 patients. That form of cardiac resynchronization appeared to best by V in a non-randomized with regard to heart failure hospitalizations and mortality. And we keep seeing a lot of this echocardiographic, but we're missing the clinical outcomes. So I think this is certainly, we're topping out with what we can do with retrospective, prospective, observational. Now we're awaiting these randomized trials like left versus left. And Jorge Romero showing with Symphony, with about 400 patients, the exact same trend. So really exciting stuff, showing you that we're on course with left bundle area pacing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
and I think the IVC, whether or not IVCD patients benefit from left bundle pacing, and whether or not non-ischemics versus ischemics, all of that, as you said, will be better clarified by an RCT. And speaking to Dr. Singh today, the only thing better than conduction system pacing would be leadless conduction system pacing, but of course YCRT is working on that, but we're not quite there yet. And the ability to really target a specific part of the LV endocardium, especially for intraventricular conduction delay or patients who don't have conventional conduction system left bundle branch disease, I think it's good promise.
Well, Janet, you woke up to the sunrise with some presidents.
It was an early day today, for sure. Always trying to make that session because, you're welcoming in the new president, which will be Dr. Jody Hurwitz. We heard some more words from Andrew Cron as well. It's an important session because, again, it's the one session that you can really sit down with these guys, including, Pat Blake, our CEO, and really get your thoughts across. They ask you for your thoughts about what you think HRS is about, how we can make it better, what's working, what's not working. So it's about 45 minutes, super early, but there's coffee. And so I encourage people next year to definitely attend that session.
Great representation. Think about over the past 5 years, this window, how many female presidents we've had at HRS.
So many.
That's the majority.
Yeah.
So, and Jody obviously really was in the spotlight with all these CMS cuts.
Yeah,
so Christine Albert even said, it's rare for the president-elect, the one that's about to happen to everyone knows, but Jody really took on a big role this year already. So she's kind of doing 2-year term as she was really at the forefront. So we're really excited to have Jody Hurwitz with us and representing. And as far as the other take-home points that you had with guidelines.
Gosh.
You loved the fact that we had
much
more.
Yeah, it's not every time you go to a scientific session and you get 3 guidelines released. So I think, we've talked about the guidelines already in our other wrap-ups, but again, we had the arrhythmias in pregnancy, super important, maternal and fetal guidelines about what to do. We had the conduction system pacing guidelines, which again, super important. And then, of course, the remote monitoring guidelines where we finally got our staffing ratios down that you can take to your administrators. So please go and download those, read them up, and digest them because they're all online now.
Yeah, really, really useful content. And from a fellows education standpoint, the hands-on EP courses, anatomy, biophysics, mapping, very high yield. I was speaking to Dr. Sauer today about the ablation biophysics course, which is one of the most favored and longest wait lists. And having attended myself, it was a really good education and really engaging for those who might be interested in EP because it's such a unique language. It's almost like learning a new language in a steep curve. So engaging folks early, especially women, I think it's a great opportunity for that, and expanding our diversity to the LGBTQI community as well, beyond women in EP as well. So that and the MedVR venture with Dr. Sanders was also exciting to explore. simulation-based education, the one video game that would probably be approved by parents. So I think that was also an excellent venture.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
no, it's just really actually sentimental every time we wrap on a day like this. Last year it was just Mehek and I.
Right.
But now as we see that the people behind us are kind of dwindling down, it's another year that's in the books.
Yep.
And we've had a little bit of something for everyone. It always starts with fellows education. Then it goes to obviously networking, more HRS events. We're seeing Peng Chen now with his last year as the editor, and we'll see a new Heart Rhythm Journal editor probably announced in the next couple months. So it's new time period, and then we'll obviously be getting ready for Boston
Yep.
in
Boston.
2024.
2024.
So that is a wrap here from New Orleans. We had a really great time reuniting with all colleagues and friends across the country. This is Heart Rhythm TV, and we'll see you very soon.